Welcome to Work Comp Chomp, everyone. I'm Chompy, a seasoned former workers' compensation claims adjuster, here to chew over the good, the bad, and the downright bizarre of workplace mishaps. Whether you're navigating a claim, curious about the process, or just here for some unbelievable injury stories, you've come to the right place. We'll break down the basics, bust a few myths, and serve up hilarious reenactments that'll make you glad you're watching from a safe distance. So pull up a chair and let's dig into the world of workers' comp. No hard hat required. The content of this channel is for informational and entertainment purposes only and reflects my personal opinions and interpretations as a former workers' compensation claims adjuster. It is not legal advice. Always consult a qualified professional for specific guidance related to your case. So let's start with the most obvious question. What is workers' compensation? Workers' compensation, or workers' comp, workman's comp, is a form of insurance providing wage replacement and medical benefits to employees injured in the course of employment. This almost always includes mandatory relinquishment of the employee's right to sue his or her employer for the tort of negligence. In other words, if you pursue workers' compensation, then you can't sue your employer. But Chompy, why would I agree to give up my right to sue for negligence if I was genuinely hurt at work? That's a great question. Essentially, the answer is what's known as the compensation bargain. Filing a personal injury lawsuit, which was the standard before workers' compensation, is a long and complicated process that may not result in a decision for months to years, during which you're unpaid and you're covering your own medical treatment with no guarantee you'll win your case. Workers' compensation is a no fault system, meaning you don't have to prove your employer was negligent in order to receive benefits under your claim. Your injury does have to be as a result of your work related job duties. You can't just file a claim at random and expect it to be automatically accepted. But your employer also can't deny your claim because you were the one at fault. If you're a grocery store butcher and you accidentally chop your finger off while cutting some delicious ham, your claim would be accepted, even though you were the one who technically chopped off your own finger. Each state has their own legal statutes for what constitutes a work related injury, and your exact injury might be accepted in one state but would be denied in another. But as long as you file under workers' compensation and your injury is determined as work related per state statute, then you're generally entitled to benefits for lost wages and medical treatment. Okay, so I got hurt at work and need medical treatment. What do I do? So there's going to be about a million different scenarios, and I can't go through every single one. Ain't nobody got time for that. But I can boil it down to two answers. Tell your supervisor or call an ambulance. And let me make this very clear. You should not call an ambulance without first reporting to your supervisor, HR, whoever, unless it's a true emergency scenario and you're seriously injured, bleeding out, or at risk of dying. If at all possible, you need to notify someone in management the moment the injury happens and specifically tell them, I need to go to a doctor and have a workers' compensation claim filed. Your employer is legally obligated to file a claim when notified of an injury, but sometimes a claim won't be filed if you don't specify you want to see a doctor. Too many people will say, oh, I think I'll be all right after being injured at work. They'll just rest, take some pain meds at home, and then the pain gets worse over the next few days. You can still request treatment later. You aren't barred just because it wasn't done day one, but it's so much easier if it is. It's also easier to show to the insurance company that you reported your injury timely. If you show up a month after your injury demanding payment and to see a doctor and no claim was ever filed, it's going to be harder to prove that you reported an injury in the first place. But what if my injury wasn't a specific incident? What about developing pain over time, like back pain from heavy lifting? Oh boy, this is where the questions start to get a bit sticky. Every state is different, but most states do recognize injuries over time, as long as it's your assigned job duties that led to the injury. If you work in construction, lifting up to 50 pounds regularly, and you develop low back pain that worsens over time, then yeah, that's reasonably work related. If you work in an office setting and claim low back pain due to sitting all day, but during the investigation it's discovered that you're a hobby power lifter, you're going to have a harder time relating that back pain directly to sitting in a chair. Investigation? What investigation? I thought you said work comp was a no fault system. Why would I be investigated? Your injury still has to meet your state's definition of work related. No fault just means your claim can't be denied because you made a mistake while working and caused your own injury. Well, you're the one who chopped off your own finger, Mr. Butcher. Why should we cover that? because I'm cutting your meat with your knife in your kitchen wearing your uniform. Anyways, yes, the claim is investigated, some more so than others depending on the details, but we get a statement from you, management, coworkers, or any other possible witnesses. We also look into your prior claims history, review prior medical records if we're able to obtain them, and even conduct social media checks for publicly available information. Lots of people get into car accidents and their insurance doesn't cover enough, so they'll file a work comp claim a few weeks later and try and pass it off as a work injury. Don't do that. We will find out, and it's fraud. Claims are complicated, and there's a lot of moving parts of the first few days after an injury occurs. But reporting it as soon as possible and getting to a doctor is one of the best decisions you can make to help the rest of your claims experience go smoothly. In later videos, I'll go into more depth regarding medical treatment, what happens if you're taken out of work, permanent disability, and more Work Comp 101 topics. Hit that subscribe button for more content, and please post any comments or questions below that you'd like to see in my future What Happens If segment, where I attempt to walk you through hypothetical injury scenarios and discuss how I might handle it as a claims adjuster. Thanks for watching.